Hi, and welcome to this video in this series where we're looking at HPE and Veeam technology together. My name is Kevin Ridings, Senior Business Solutions Architect here at Veeam, and I'm joined by Christopher today. The focus of today's session is to do with the recent release of the HPE Morpheus VM Essentials plugin for the Veeam architecture, which brings some great capabilities for the VM Essentials. Now, Christopher's going to take us through in some detail, and we're going to look at some of the features that are available. So without further ado, over to you, Christopher.
Yeah, thanks, Kevin. So again, my name is Christopher Donohoe. I'm the solutions architect on the HPE Alliance here at Veeam. Today we'll be talking about the VM Essentials plugin, and just to talk about HPE Morpheus VM Essentials for a second, and the value for that. The reason that customers are going to be looking at this new platform and the underlying HVM hypervisor is to get hypervisor alternatives. I think everyone's looking or thinking today about what is the future of their hypervisor choice in their environment, and the HVM hypervisor that's included in HP Morpheus VM Essentials is definitely a choice that I think will become very attractive to customers ongoing in the future, especially as it becomes even more full featured than it is today. But just to talk about the plugin, for a few minutes, I wanted to start out by talking about the architecture, and the architecture is pretty simple to understand. You have the plugin itself, which adds all the intelligence to the Veeam backup server. So this tells the Veeam backup server how to talk to the VM Essentials manager, which is the management plane. It tells it how to communicate with the HVM hypervisor, which is the actual hypervisor type. Um, and it also tells the Veeam backup server, it gives it the intelligence how to talk to the VMs on that hypervisor as well, because we are communicating with the control plane. We're talking to QEMU on the HVM hypervisor, and we're also talking to the QEMU agent on the VM to accomplish some things like change block tracking and uh, application aware backups, for example. And then in addition to the plugin, you have the worker. So you have a dedicated worker in the environment, and you can just think about this very similar to what you already understand in Veeam architecture for the Veeam proxy. It's basically doing all the same work. The reason that we are calling it a worker is that it's not quite as full featured as a proxy, and that you're not going to be able to install additional roles on that worker. Um, the the responsibility of the worker would be to move data from the workload into the repository. So you can think of things that you're accustomed to a proxy doing today, which is all the compression and the data movement, those types of things on the data as it writes data to the repository. I think I've covered, kind of at a high level, how we are talking to the manager as far as importing all of the details about the environment, the cluster. That's how we know what hypervisors to talk to understand, if you want to back up a specific VM, for example, you're talking to the manager to find out, okay, what cluster node is that on? And then you go to the cluster node and you communicate with that to back up the workload. Generally, I think that's just a good high level overview to describe all the architecture so far. Kevin, if you want to go on to the next slide, and we can talk about, we can dig into those features a little bit more. Uh, we do have change block tracking. The two features I would probably start out talking about here would be change block tracking and application aware backups. And those are really two really great examples how we differentiate ourselves from maybe other people who are claiming that they can back up the HVM workloads on the HVM hypervisor today, because we really are communicating with the hypervisor itself and with the guest agent on the VM itself to accomplish true change block tracking and application-aware backups, and that increases both the efficiency and the speed of the backup, and makes frankly just makes the backup file, gives you more options. It makes it more usable on restore. You have more options as far as, do you want to restore those granular application items? Do you want to recover an individual file? And obviously, you can accomplish a full VM restore if you need to do that as well. And then the last feature that we point out here would be cross hypervisor recovery. And it's not that we're trying to encourage you to get out of this platform. We see great future for the HPM hypervisor, but acknowledging that customers do have a hybrid environment, and maybe they might want to restore some of these workloads to a cloud environment or to a different hypervisor for whatever reason. Customers have come to expect that feature for sure in our software, and we do deliver that also with this plugin for VM Essentials.
Thanks, Christopher. I can remember being at the HP Discover in Barcelona where HP announced the HPE VM Essentials. And it's great that we've so quickly been able to release such a feature-rich, even though we're talking a 1.0, such a feature-rich product but as you would expect, change block tracking, application-aware backups, file-level recovery. I mean, that cross-hypervisor recovery as well, around that, giving the customer the freedom, being able to move workloads between different hypervisors. I think that's great. And it's great that to see the process as well from that announcement at Discover in Barcelona a little while back to a fully supporting product. It's fantastic, and I'm sure there are more features to come in future releases as well. So I'd like to thank you, Christopher, for taking us through that. I'd like to thank the viewers for watching. Hopefully you've found this short video useful. Please take a look out for more videos in the series. Again, thank you. Thank you, Christopher.
Yeah, thank you.